So I'm at Specimen Creek and I came up the ridge a little bit and I'm on the hunt for petrified wood. And looking down here at my feet, it seems that I've found something that looks an awful lot like petrified wood. So petrified wood is going to be where the carbon, in this case, gets replaced by silica. And a lot of times you're still able to see the old wood grain. And so here, you can hear that flinty noise it makes, and then you start to see it all over the place. So you're coming up here and you start to see that characteristic color and that characteristic sort of wood grain in the material. So I think I might be on the trace for the trees at Specimen Creek. Very, very cool. Another piece I found is quite interesting. It appears to have preserved possibly needles, pine needles or something like that. So pretty cool. I think we're on the case and we're going to find those trees soon. So as I continue to ascend the ridge, you see more and more evidence, more and more float of what looks indeed like petrified wood. I'm kind of detective work here, just tracing it up and see if we can find sort of a source. And indeed right here, we appear to have a petrified stump that's eroding away and falling apart. You can see the curvature of the old tree rings here. So it appears to be vertical and it's just absolutely spectacular. And what you can see is a new tree is growing right up out of that old tree. So can't say that's something I've seen before, but really spectacular to see this petrified tree, which appears to be standing vertically. Now, if we look around and I look over here to the right-hand side, it appears that there's a petrified tree, a bigger one, right over here. So let's head on over and we will take a look. Yep, it sure looks like we're looking at a petrified tree that's vertical, and we'll go in there closer and get a better look. So as we come over here, we can see what appears to be an entire standing stump, at least, of a petrified tree. You can really start to see the tree rings replaced by silica. Some of them here stained, a little bit of iron oxidation. And then on the outside of the tree, you can see really what are tree-like features. Just quite incredible. So, a couple feet tall right here, and then 2.5 or so feet across. And we found a beautiful, in situ, it appears, petrified tree. So here's another spot where we're at this volcanic debris flow. You can see all of the different particles, clasts in this flow. And then what is really amazing is we come along the front of this, we can see now horizontally either a tree that's been taken over or a branch, something that's been petrified. So again, just really, really spectacular. You can see the textures within that petrified wood. And this actually, probably maybe had some rotted out and then petrified. Just really spectacular to see this in situ inside of this debris flow deposit. And that's why the hypothesis is that these debris flows are what took out this forest, buried this forest, some left standing, some obviously toppled over to see these petrified trees. What a magical spot. Thinking about the violence of that activity and then sitting there and allowing water to come percolating through, replacing all of that carbon with silica. Really, really cool.